Hello, brother. Today we're going to talk about how to be consistent on the good habits. This is something that truly changes your life in every fantastic way you can imagine. If you want to be consistent with your studying, no, and getting fantastic grades, you need this. If you want to get better mental health, being consistent with the mental health habits will achieve this. If you want to get fit and jacked and strong and attractive, being consistent with working out is what will achieve this. So, you know, many people online talk about meditation, discipline, and everything. I don't want to use either, to be honest. I mean, I'd like to be motivated, but a lot of the time you aren't motivated. So, how can we increase that motivation? How can we just make everything sort of flow and not need to be a really big discipline task? Well, a soldier without a task is a morphine addict. What does this mean? What does this have to do with consistency? Well, you've probably heard the stories of the soldiers in World War II that they went and they were taking a little morphine and heroin and stuff during the war, and then when they came back, most of them stopped, and all the ones that stopped, they didn't have any drug issues, even though they took the super addictive substances. Well, why is that? Because they had a clear task, they had a clear space where they were taking it. They weren't just being bums taking it. Like the people that came back and kept taking it did become the drug addicts on the street and everything. But the soldiers that were taking it and they were in the rigid, disciplined environment, somehow that disciplined environment never seems to make any of them addicts. So, what am I trying to say by this? If you have all your energy, your emotionality, your motivation, say to be have brotherhood, if you don't channel it in the correct way and go, say, play sports or kickboxing and try and make a business with your friends, well, you're just going to end up playing video games and getting brotherhood from there. If you want to get money and get status and get girls, well, you'll just play GTA. If you want to feel love and intimacy, you'll just watch porn instead of, trying to build yourself and get a wonderful relationship. So, if you give yourself a clear task, you can channel all the energy and, well, literal energy they were given from taking Class A substances into something productive like them being able to fight. So, how do we actually create this? Well, we're going to channel all your positive habits, waking up early, working out, meditating, such and such. This is just a figurative example, into a timetable so your habits now stack up and become a routine. So the way this looks like, I just drew a little simple example here. Wake up at 6, go to the bathroom, shower, whatever. 6:20, work out for 20 minutes. 6:40, meditate. Don't copy this exact figure I'm showing here. It's just very simple. Make this in your notes up on a piece of paper. Put it as your home background, home screen background, whatever. And this is so important because now you wake up and you already know where you have to channel your energy into. If you woke up and you had all this energy to work hard and improve yourself, well, you could do that, but instead you could lie in bed and scroll and feel like you're getting all this dopamine, and you see attractive girls and you think that you have them, or you feel really good about yourself. You start playing video games, whatever. Creating a timetable is the one thing that this year has truly changed my life, increased my productivity tenfold, because I don't have to make the decision where if you need to make the decision constantly, you're more likely to slip up. If every 20 minutes of my day I didn't have something to do and I had a decision, that would be another trigger, another possible time that I can mess up and play video games or whatever. Having it all set out for before is also really motivating because you can kind of tick things off like a to-do list. And some people say, well, I don't really like a timetable, my day changes too much or whatever. Well, this is your perfect day. Some days you'll wake up a little bit later, you'll have to adjust, your mom will ask you for some help, you'll have to go do something. If I've really heard this from someone that his day is different based on day of the week, well then just make 3 timetables, kind of like 2 minutes. Or if at 7 o'clock you have kickboxing and other days you don't, just put kickboxing / working out / reading / eating. It's not that complicated, bro. I used to have 4 of them and I just changed them between the day. So, timetable is super effective. Some people say they don't like it because it feels very restrictive. Well, if a donkey is told it has to carry a burden, through the desert, it wouldn't choose to carry heavy bars of gold, carpets, people on it. No, it would choose to carry hay and water and things that will help it survive and thrive. So you choose setting out and making a plan for yourself and putting effort towards yourself. isn't a burden, it's your help, it's your system to survive. Next, you can't jump up a mountain. If you are currently working at about a 2 out of 10, and your goal is, say for example, this 20 minutes of workout a day, and you want to work out for an hour and a half, you can't say to yourself, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and do an hour and a half, because you can barely scrape 25 minutes on most days. So if, say one day you do wake up and this is your new target, and you're working like this usually, well then on this day, instead of going like this, you'll do nothing, because it's way too overwhelming for you. I mean, you could say, yeah, I'm gonna do this today. Some days you may even miss that, it's maybe 30 minutes or maybe even 20 minutes, same thing, right? And you miss that. Don't wake up the next day and think, okay, well, today I'm going to do 40 minutes. I failed yesterday, today I'm going to double down on it. Because then you do wake up tomorrow and now you have a 40-minute workout in front of you, and yesterday you can even do 20 minutes. Now, if you want to be consistent, you have to allow yourself that every day you work at a realistic and not overwhelming amount. Because otherwise, you're not going to be consistent if you mess up one day and then the next day is even more difficult, so you're more likely to mess that one up. We want to have a consistent, slow increase. So at the start of the year, I was probably 50%, adhered to my timetable. Now I'm about 90%, where over time, over months, you'll now have increased to a 40-minute workout. Not normally. And now this is your new consistent, easy baseline. And some days, you can do 45, other days you'll fail and do 20 minutes again. But then you'll think, okay, that's fine. Tomorrow I'm going to do 40, my new baseline. I'm just going to keep going at that and working up along it. You can't jump up a mountain. You can't go to the base of the mountain and just walk along the path and think, no, I'll just jump to the top. I'll take a helicopter. No, you have to slowly go up the steps, slowly climb around it, slowly rock climb a little bit. Next, enjoy the view. Once you have climbed it and you've reached this, where this may be, for example, studying for 2 hours a day, it may be being 80% accurate to your timetable, maybe working out for 45 minutes a day, which for you could be a lot. Enjoy the view. Sit, and on the day-to-day, this can be, okay, I did my timetable. Whew, it's nice. Okay, I'll allow myself 20 minutes of watching my favorite movie, or I'll allow myself to sleep a little bit longer. I'll allow myself to have a nap, meditate a little bit more, call that friend. Try not to do distractive habits. Try to do good habits that help you. For example, I had some work to do today for university, and I didn't allow myself to record which I wanted to do until I did that. So you see, I'm still being productive, right? I'm still working right now, but I had to do that first. And the reason you have to do it this way is because now you're both more motivated for this task, and now you enjoy the task later on more. If I just did this first, if I just recorded first, stressing about the uni assignment, I wouldn't enjoy recording as much, and then I'd have this big overwhelming task in front of me of just do the uni work with no benefit after. Try reward yourself positively. Tell others of your current mountain and the next one. So tell your friends, yeah man, I had a really good day today, whatever. What I like to do is say to my group, yeah, we'll have little daily check-ins at like 10 p.m. And tell them what you're going to try to do next. Tell them, okay, yeah, this week I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to try to do this assignment, revise this topic, whatever. Being accountable to someone really helps. I actually found that ChatGPT is good for this as well. You just tell it a problem right now and then explain how you're struggling with this, can't be asked. It's difficult, you don't understand this. And it's not necessarily going to give the best advice or anything, but just having something that you're accountable to, that every 2 days you go and give a little update, has actually really helped me. Back in the day when I just started, that wouldn't be strong enough accountability as like a parent in the home. But over time, it's really nice and helpful. Slip, but don't fall. If now every day you've started working at here, you're scaling up, and you have a bad week, try not to hold yourself down here. Now, don't overwhelm yourself by thinking, yeah, my baseline's 40 minutes, and I'm going to do 40 minutes again. No. Yesterday you did 0 minutes of working out. Today you'll do 5 minutes. That's going to hurt your ego. You're going to think, no, I can do 40 minutes, it's fine. But now we're going back to the old thing of, I'm overwhelming myself and I'm going to do nothing. So try to do 5 minutes. Once you do, that's your goal for the day. I'm going to meditate for 1 minute. I'm going to work out for 5 minutes. Once you achieve that goal, you succeeded. then with that motivation, you can do more. But you don't have to. You don't need to think. You could logically think, yeah, I'm going to work out for at least 20 minutes. Don't have to. Just make the goal 5 minutes, and once you do that, you'll probably work out more. Other days, you're not going to. And over time, you'll slowly scale back up, and you'll be back to the 40 minutes. And, be able to keep going over time. This is so important. I know years before, like, this is what really caused me to fall a lot, where I'd work really hard for a week, and then I'd have a bad few days, and I'd keep, like, feeling agitated and trying to work back to that level. And I wouldn't just allow myself the grace of literally 2 days to build back up to it. Because, you can stay in this cycle constantly of, oh yeah, I didn't do this, but tomorrow I'll do amazing, and then not doing anything. And then trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. What we want is consistent growth up. This will hurt in the short term, but long term is going to save you these weeks here where you're doing nothing. So I really hope that helps, man. I know this has genuinely changed my life, and I know it will do the same for you if you implement this mindset and these tactics. Now get off YouTube, go do some work. Much love, man.